This is the Wisekrakr Warframe, and today we're going to talk about Nidus, and this infested bastard can do a lot of harm. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. But first of all, get him by doing the Glass Gambit quest, and after you complete that quest, you get a blueprint. And all the other stuff you can watch in How I Got the Nidus video. But first, let's talk about this infested room in my spaceship. When you have the Nidus, you can finally get into this room, and you can see that there is a chair there. And it seems harmless. Well, not really, because there are a whole lot of spikes. And there we go. We get jabbed in the neck. And now we have a big ass pimple on our neck. But this is something you can do with Nidus. So now it is time for the build, and we can see that we get rank bonuses when we equip the Nidus. So that is a nice little thing. And furthermore, we got a lot of duration on this build. And of course, all the rest. But duration was the main focus. And you can see that there are a lot of just simple mods in the build. We got rage, of course. So when we get hurt, we get energy, which we don't really need. But whatever. And we got a lot of vitality because this Warframe only has health. No shield, only health. Nidus fights with mutation stacks, and you stack those mutations up by using Virulence. So you hit your enemy with some mutation, you stack that up, and now you have mutation stacks to fight with. So you don't need a lot of power energy. As long as those mutations keep on stacking, you can do a lot of cracking. Something you don't need mutation stacks for is the second ability called Larva. And what you do is you spawn an infested pod, and that will suck up all the enemies surrounding that pod. And now it will become even easier to get those mutation stacks with Virulence, because they're all at one spot. And another nice thing is that when the larva dissipates, those enemies keep on exploding out of it, and that looks amazing. The third ability is called Parasitic Link, and with this you do need those mutation stacks, and you can bind yourself to either an enemy or a friend. When you link to an enemy, that enemy becomes disabled. So you plop him in a wheelchair, and during the time that you are linked, that enemy sucks up a percentage of the damage dealt to you. This percentage is affected by power strength. But when you are linked to a friend, you get more power strength. And also you get a second line of Virulence, and that will make it easier to stack up those mutations. And to use Parasitic Link, you need at least one mutation stack. And the last ability is called Ravenous, and with Ravenous you spawn a infested playground with maggots just jumping out of it, jumping on your enemies and hurting them, because that is what we want, right? And while you are playing in that infested playground, you gain health. Not only you, but also your allies, your companions, specters, or hostages, or any other stuff that is with you. And since my build has a lot of power duration, this little infested playground will stay up a long time. These infested playgrounds also have maggots, as I said, and these maggots will draw your enemies, and they will kill them with toxin damage, and it'll explode in their face. But every time they die, they just spawn again in the playground and just do it all over again. So it kind of feels like you have a whole group of new friends with you everywhere you go. And these maggots deal even more damage when you use Virulence on maggots. When the maggots attack your enemies and you use Virulence on them, you deal even more damage. You need at least 3 mutation stacks to spawn this playground, and to gain your friends, your little maggoty friends. So look at how cute they can be. So now that we have all the information, let's use all these powers, and let's see what we can do, what kind of damage we can do with this Nidus. So we have a link here, and that means the damage dealt on us will go to that corrupted gunner there. And you saw I used larva to get them all at one spot, and then use my Virulence to stack up those mutations. You can see it in right. Look at that, 36. I'm already at 40. Look at how fast it goes. It also goes a little bit faster because these bastards are high leveled. So now I have enough to also use my ravenous. Again, the larva is... Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, my lord. Look at how messy that looks. But it is nice, though. And, well, as you can see, the stacks are ramping up. And let's see what the limit is, shall we? Because I'm very curious. Maybe we can go through 1,000, maybe? No, that would make no sense. The mutation stacks is limited by 100. Look at that. So we get a little icon there for 100, and there we go. Now we know. So as we can see here, a lot of these bastards have already died. But now there is something else with this Warframe. It cannot die. Look at that. Undying. And if you have a lot of stacks, look at that. You just keep on undying. They cannot kill you. So stacking up these things is very important. So for 10 mutation stacks, you won't die. You get 5 seconds of invulnerability and your health is restored to 50%. So now let's see this in battle, shall we? We got a nice mission over here. And we need to protect this thing right here. So I got my ravenous out. So every bastard coming my way will die in my infested playground. And my maggoty friends will help me. So I use my larva to see if there are any enemies around. I'm linked, of course, because they will give me some extra power strength. And here we have another example of something we need to defend. And, well, basically I'm telling you that Nidus is very handy for defense because you use your ravenous and your larva to keep people at bay, and you use Virulence and Parasitic Link to kill those bastards. So there we go. So we got ourselves a hallway over here, and well, as you can see, this is very handy for me because with this tactic, those stacks will ramp up very quickly. Look at this. Just get that shield away right there, and then just keep on virulencing, or whatever you want to call it. It is a very... Oh, look at that larva going. Look at him. Oh, how great. And there we go. I had a lot of stacks, and enough of them to not die, and I can just continue my killings. Yep, I like this new Warframe, ladies and gentlemen. It does me well, and it kills a lot, and it will not die. So what else do you want? And this is another example of how easy it can be to stack up those mutations. So here on D, and well, I got my ravenous out, my infested playground is ready to go. I'm linked with another bastard, so any damage dealt on me is going to him. Well, some of the damage at least. And well, my friends and my maggots will do the rest. And sometimes I will use larva to get those bastards in one place, and use Virulence, stack up the points again. And this is what we do with Nidus. Beautiful bastard. Look at that. I just killed that bastard by cutting the link. That's something you can do, right? Just cut the link and he'll be dead. In the beginning of this video, we saw that I put a needle in my neck, and now there is a big flipping pimple there. And in the next video, we will see what we can squirt out of there. So check me out in all my other videos, and I hope to see you there. And until then, adios.